my name is Laura Ferri, and welcome to the My Inner Struggle podcast, where I'm talking about everything personal growth, lifestyle, and business. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I just legit added audit to-do list to my to-do list, and you might laugh. I am such a list person, and it really helps me a lot stay on track and get things moving. I was thinking this morning as I was getting ready to put this together that I had a boss that always used to say, Laura is the tonic that everyone seems to need. And it was such a cool compliment to get because I always had my hands in a lot of different things, operationally and with finance and stuff like that. And I love small business. So it was kind of a cool compliment. And I've used that over and over again. In different scenarios, whether I've been writing a blog or I've mentioned it here or whatever. And it's a feel-good compliment without, it just like speaks to your skill set and things like that. But I think as moms, all of us have that sort of tonic that our kids need. And I just, usually I record the podcast, later the week before so that I have time to have it edited and everything put together. But I didn't in the last week. It's been incredibly insane and busy with new business clients. And I just dropped my oldest daughter off to college on Sunday. And it's been kind of a whirlwind getting ready. It's just like going on vacation. You're getting all your stuff together and packing and condensing and figuring out what else you need and helping her, through figuring out her lists and what else she needs to purchase and pack and all of that. And it wasn't until I got home today that, she's been away. She goes to friends' houses to stay over. She's got an overnighter. She goes on vacation with her dad or whatever. So I don't think that I'll feel it right away, but I got home today and I kind of was like, oh, I hope I left her enough room in the driveway, not realizing. And in that moment, I'm like, oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. I could park right in the middle if I needed to. So there's kind of a weird moment. And her stepmom texted me yesterday and she's like, just wait until you go grocery shopping because you're going through the store and going, oh, Emily might like that, or I should grab that. And it's kind of funny because I have 3 children and they all like different specific things for lunch. So that's next on my agenda today to get all that resolved as school starts. And I was listening to a podcast this morning while I was like doing some things around the house about morning routines and Rachel Hollis. I love Rachel Hollis. If you don't follow her, listen to her podcast. She's got great information. And she's also an author. And so she writes some great books too. So about starting that morning routine and diving in. And my morning routine has changed considerably in the last year. I deemed myself not a morning person for a really long time. I do like staying up late at night, but I'm sort of morphing back into it. A really long time ago, before I was divorced, while I was still married, I was the one that got up for the gym at 5 a.m. for many years. And once I was divorced, I didn't do that anymore. I kind of felt weird about leaving the house early in the morning and leaving the kids here. So by themselves. And it was always that thing in the back of your head, like, well, what if something happened and and I'm not here and they're all asleep. So I didn't do that. So I would kind of do my own thing or do it in the afternoon or whatever. But at any rate, I was an early morning, workout person for quite a while. And I am so ready to get on a better morning routine. It's been changing by the day, it almost feels like. So right now, for the past couple weeks, I have been sleeping until 6 o'clock in the morning, which kind of felt pretty good just to get a little extra time because I'm not really getting into bed until 10. And so Rachel was talking about it and it made so much sense. And I was talking with a friend recently about it too, about how when you get up earlier in the morning, it's like that magic hour time. And I can remember that was my goal when my kids were little, was to get up before them. And sometimes even when they were super little, you're oftentimes just kind of thrown into it. They don't have like an exact time that they wake up in the morning, prior to preschool or anything like that. And so I was always like struggling to like keep up and get up before them just so I could have my first few sips of coffee, before they got up and sort of gather myself so that I was ready to conquer the day. And that feels like an absolute fucking eternity ago. But nonetheless, it's changed quite a bit over the years. And right now I'm getting up probably about 6 o'clock. But as I've been like changing things and doing building more into my day and organizing it better and catching up on all those things that I'm backlogged on, that's the goal, is to kind of get to maintenance, quote unquote. The studio I belong to right now, I guess you could call it a gym. The theme for August was to do less, I believe. And it's not really possible for me to do less necessarily. Being, a single mom, I've got 3 kids, I'm building a business, I've got clients. I can't really do less per se because there's no one else for it to fall on. But what I did for the month of August was slow down. So I still have the same amount of responsibility, but I'm not speeding through things. And then in the last couple weeks or so, I've been really focusing on going through more things in the house, clearing the clutter, getting organized, getting myself together. Because when we have less shit to worry about, it's just easier. Everything's clear. Everything's like laid out for you. There's less stuff to go through. And I had started that. If you follow me on Facebook, and if you don't, check out the My Inner Struggle page on Facebook. I was going through my clothes, and as funny as that seems, as far as making things simpler, if you think about it, if you have less to choose from, it takes you a lot less time to go through that in the morning. But I had a lot of stuff that was old that I definitely wasn't utilizing anymore, not really into it. And I cleaned out a lot of stuff. And then I've been taking that with me throughout the house as I moved out of my office and made my formal living room my office in my house because we weren't using it. And it's up to me again. It was Rachel Hollis. And she's like, it's your space. Do whatever the hell you want with it. And I wasn't really using it other than the dog would lay on the couch in there. And that's where we put our Christmas tree. So I love this room. I love the light in here. I love the space. And so I'm really happy that I get to use this as my office every day. So that being said, I have these bookcases in here and all of that stuff. I started going through stuff, getting rid of stuff, listing it on Facebook Marketplace, taking it to donate places because I don't need it. I haven't touched it. Someone else can benefit from it, and I don't need it clogging up my life. And then from there, I was working on the coat closet and going through hats and gloves and scarves. And I'm way ahead of the game on that one because I'm always a day late and $1 short on that one. And then slowly but surely, I've been going through like a kitchen cabinet or a kitchen drawer or how many fucking water bottles do we need? So just really cleaning and organizing and getting clear and having less stuff because it creates less chaos and we can stay organized and happy, and there's a lot less to deal with, right? And I think I wrote it in a blog or on Facebook or something like that when I was talking about going through my kitchen. If you have 10 plates, then you're not going to wind up with like 15 plates in the sink waiting to be washed. I have more than 10 plates, but I'm just saying as an example, if you have, the kids especially, right? So if they need another cup, they'll take another cup. But if there's only 5 cups available, they can't take 25 cups. It's just kind of simple math and sort of just streamlines everything for me. So I'm still on that venture of cleaning out. I've done my bedroom, my clothes, every single drawer in my room, all of my extra stuff. And then as I was moving my office into my formal living room, I was going through all the books that I have, just all of my materials and things for coaching, and then just organizing everything. So that's felt really, really good. So getting back to the morning routine, if we simplify things, and we set ourselves up for success, then we have a better chance of achieving that success. If we know that our treadmill is kind of tucked away in a corner and there's always, toys or something in front of it, your desire to get through that mess to get to the treadmill is going to be less and less, obviously, unless it's, as opposed to it being easily accessible. So just things like that I've been trying to get myself in a better position for as we start the new school year. And my other two children start in a couple days. So trying to get sleep schedules back on track. I should have done that last week. But, asking them like what they're going to want to bring for lunch or what they'll have for breakfast and snacks and things like that, so that we can just kind of get ourselves prepared. So it's easy, because no one likes, scrambling to find stuff in the morning at all. So that being said, this week I'll be moving my wake up time back up to 5 a.m., which means I'm probably going to get in bed between 9 and 10 o'clock at night, just so that I can give myself enough time, get enough sleep, and be able to start my day early. And with that, it's funny because she'll talk about like the coffee and making it this special celebration kind of thing. And I've been doing that for a couple of months and I've been made fun of by a few of the kids and some friends, but, the way I prepare my coffee now has changed and it is much more special and celebrated. And I enjoy that. It seems kind of funny. You might roll your eyes a little bit, but when you're doing things with intention and you actually spend the time to enjoy those things that you're doing every day, it just changes everything. And I wrote a blog recently and it's posted on myinnerstruggle.com. If you haven't read the blog before, I encourage you to check it out because that is how everything here started. So in my blog, I've talked about somewhat of a spiritual awakening that I've been going through. And it's not as crazy as it sounds, maybe. I don't know if I want to use the word crazy. It's just that I've noticed everything about me. I've been working on myself for a long time and I've reached like kind of a new level. All of my relationships have changed. The way I feel about things have changed. I don't get anxiety anymore. I'm not depressed anymore. I definitely have, days that I might struggle with how to tackle something, but I'm not questioning my confidence in myself or my ability to get things done or figure out a solution for it. And it's kind of interesting because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am the happiest I've ever been in my whole life. And it doesn't mean that the circumstances are perfect. It's just how I'm thinking about it and how I'm moving through my day to move forward. It feels really good. It feels really fucking good. And it was a delicate balance and process, and it didn't happen overnight. It did not happen overnight in any way, shape, or form. But the way I feel about things is so different now than I used to. And it's just kind of remarkable. And just to observe that part of your own self growth journey starts with awareness and just being aware of your own triggers and things like that. So this podcast has a lot of topics in it. It's sort of like a catch up. I have been journaling for a long time, but my blog was sort of like dual purpose. It definitely was my journal for a really long time, but I realized that there's a lot of things that I want to say that I don't necessarily need to like blog about. It might be about my day or what happened or a trigger that I need to focus on or something like that. And there are different methods of journaling too. You can journal about your day and things like that, but you can also journal about the feelings that you're having. And that is one way to start digging into what it is that's going on, because we all have a past of some kind, whether it was toxic or not, but there are reasons that we do the things that we do, in the order that we do them and the way that we react to people, and digging into that and figuring it out is really an interesting process. Our brains are so intricate and complicated, and but when you break down something down to something simple, and you keep drilling back and drilling back, it's pretty remarkable and makes sense without a doubt. So talking about finding your why in a lot of things that you do really helps. So if I can relate this even to my day, right? So I kind of fell off of waking up early in the morning because I didn't really feel like I had a purpose to do so when I got divorced and I was on my own, because I wasn't going to the gym. Well, then why? And I was also suffering from depression without a doubt and anxiety, and I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. And so staying in bed until the last possible moment and then some, so then we're scrambling around and running around late, isn't a great formula for getting a good start to your day. So that's why I scaled it back, and it took a really long time to get there because it was years. I would sometimes wake up early if I needed to, but it was a struggle, and I had a really bad habit of staying up too late at night. And I wasn't really doing anything. I was watching TV or scrolling on my phone. And now at this point, when I'm on my phone and it's, I'm approaching where I should probably be putting it down and away, setting my alarm and forgetting about it, I literally will look at, I'm looking at my phone, put your fucking phone down. Let's go. Because as Eduardo had said episodes ago, think about what the future Laura will be grateful for tomorrow. So will tomorrow's Laura be happy that I stayed up an extra hour to scroll on my phone looking at Facebook or other social media? No. Tomorrow's Laura will be happy that she got in bed at the appropriate time and got enough sleep so that she has a successful day tomorrow. So we want to constantly think about the things that we're doing throughout our day to set us up for success tomorrow. That's including finishing your day at work. In my last job, I was very organized with, I held a lot of responsibility and I wore a lot of different hats. So I had a lot of notes and responsibilities and things like that, but I would sort of categorize them to each department. But before I would leave for the day, I would write down everything that I needed to get done first the next morning. And that really helped me start my day to get organized. I do the same thing at home. I do use my journal. I published 2 journals this last year. This is my daily journal, and it has space for actual journaling, what you're grateful for, things that you want to accomplish, your affirmation, and in the evening, what went well and what's a good goal for tomorrow. But then it also has my to-do list, schedule appointments, things I can write down, what I ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Did I get my water and all of that, and my top priorities. And so I go through that exercise all the time. So each day I am checking in with my to-do list in this, the My Inner Struggle journal. And if you haven't checked it out, you can go to myinnerstruggle.com and click on the link for the journal. It's available on Amazon. I think it's a great tool to use to keep yourself organized. Another thing that I'm doing is I am just journaling about my day. And this is just a blank notebook that I had purchased that I thought was pretty quite a while ago. And I have various notes in here from different thoughts and things like that to dive a little bit deeper into my mood and things like that. But that's not really for my to-dos. So those are a couple things that keep me organized and that I start off my day with. I am not religiously down here at my desk at 6 o'clock writing in that. It's kind of, I'll wake up, I'll do some meditation. I start my coffee first. I press go on my coffee that I've prepped the night before to give myself success. And then do a little meditation, and then I may, I usually make my bed right away. I'll wash my face, and kind of contemplate my day. And then eventually I'll make my way down and work on my journal, and stuff like that. But I would really like to get back to incorporating exercise in my early morning as well. So I'm trying to just figure out and step through that and see what that looks like. I don't really love exercising at 6 a.m. I kind of like doing it at 8 o'clock. So I'm trying to figure out if I can adjust my day enough and with clients that I could do all of those things and then start my day with clients. One of the things that I really liked on an episode recently with Kate Asaraf from DIP was that she does not touch her work stuff until 8:30 in the morning. And there was somebody else that I was talking to recently too, a friend of mine, Mike, that had said, don't get like sort of to segment my day. So one of the things that I struggled with when my hobby turned business was where to draw the line. And I wasn't really treating my business like I would my work, if that makes any sense. So I have all these things that I'm doing and I'm accomplishing, but I was kind of all over the place. And, he's not in the same situation as I am. So it was a little bit difficult to relate, or put into the same terms. I have 3 kids that I'm trying to get out the door. He didn't. So it was a little bit different, as far as the morning goes, but I kind of get it. And it clicked for me finally that now I will treat my business much like I would my 9-to-5 job. So I decide that, okay, so between all of those different things that I'm doing in the morning, I'm not touching my email or anything like that until 8 o'clock. Not before that. I'm not replying to anyone. It's one thing if I want to open up my phone and check social media, which I'm also trying to break first thing in the morning because due to the nature of my business, it's based on social media. That's where people find me, obviously. So I want to be available, but I am not going to dive into email or replying to people or doing anything like that until 8 o'clock in the morning. So I have a good 3 hours to myself to kind of get myself together and going for the day, which sounds like a lot. But it goes by really fast, and I am getting the kids out the door too. So that is my goal, is to kind of check into work, and it'd probably be after the bus. So like 8:30ish that I'll start my work day. And then usually I'll start with clients by 10 a.m. Until 2 or 3 p.m. And then I want to kind of be done for the day because I have that flexibility and that I can do that. Some days I may work a little bit longer, and if clients need me in the evening, that's obviously a different story. Another thing that is very cool that I've been working on is my monthly subscription service. So if you have not heard me talk about it yet, I just launched in August a monthly subscription service. So it is called the Self-Love Club. And there's a link on both websites, either lauraferri.com or myinnerstruggle.com, where you can check it out, read about it, watch the video, and sign up if you'd like. But basically what that is you have access to a coach every single day. And we're working through things as a community each day. So I'm giving you journal prompts and things like that, but we're also talking about deep dive questions. We jump on a weekly coaching call that'll begin next week. And I'm getting my meditation certification. So we'll incorporate that as well so that you'll have some meditation recordings to listen to. Meditation, I've talked about it before. Some people have a hard time sort of understanding that you can just sit still in the silence. And I think it takes some practice, without a doubt. But it doesn't have to be that. If you are someone that likes to take a walk and that is very clearing and calming for you, then take a walk, or a bike ride, or whatever that is. Whatever can get you into the zone where you feel calm and clear, do that. And then you can work on sitting in the silence and the stillness eventually. But it's a practice, and that's something that you have to work at every day, just like a yoga practice, or if you play a sport, any kind of practice. It takes practice and dedication to get there, but it's pretty fucking cool, I have to say. So anyway, the Self-Love Club is just a great community of people that want to think and do better. And I was always searching for this. I wish that had been available, or I had found it when I was beginning my journey, because I sort of just kind of cultivated that on my own. And it's been a very solo journey. But to have people where you could meet and, make friends and sort of bounce ideas off of each other and things like that is just a really great thing. And we launched it a couple weeks ago, and it's going really well, and it's pretty awesome. So definitely check out the Self-Love Club, either on lauraferri.com or myinnerstruggle.com, and check it out. It's a great way to be able to utilize a coach for less money financially than you would to dive in, with a coach that you hadn't worked with before. So it's a great intro to that. And of course, I'm available to every member if they need more one-on-one guidance that works through something or something like that. But I'm really excited about it. It's really coming together. I have a great group of founding members that are helping build the community. So that's really exciting. So all of that being said, I want to talk about a trigger that I sort of witnessed in myself a few weeks ago. And it's been a really long time that I've felt, I guess, triggered in this way by something, or someone, I should say. And so I just want to walk you through that and finding the why and all of that one more time before I let you go, because I felt something, and it was more, it's about me, and I was feeling threatened. And as women, we can often feel threatened by other confident or powerful women. And it had been someone that I hadn't seen in a long time. And I was like, what is this? It almost felt foreign, the feeling, because I don't feel that way anymore by anyone, really, which feels great to say out loud, honestly. But when you sense a threat, you feel the emotion of fear, and your body will start to release certain hormones, and it results in your fight or flight response, essentially, right? So we all remember that from like high school, right? Either way, we feel the tension, whether it's sadness or fear or anger or whatever it is. And we have to decide, okay, all right, I'm feeling this right now, but what does that mean? Why am I feeling this right now? What is my circumstance? What's happening? And, if it was a feeling of sadness, you might have that urge to cry. If it's a feeling of anger, I also cry when I'm angry. Or just angsty and just really clenched and annoyed. And so you work through those feelings. So anyway, so I had this kind of sense of sometimes when I am feeling threatened by someone, or I don't feel as confident with a certain person or group of people, I realize that I'm sort of putting them on a pedestal. And I think I did that in certain relationships in my past as well, definitely, without a doubt, because I was really lacking confidence for a really long time in myself. But a few weeks ago, I was triggered by this woman, and I was like, why do I feel this way? Because I've accomplished so much. I have so much to offer, and I know that. And many times, actually, let me back up before I say many times. I sat there knowing, okay, this is why this is triggering me. I don't feel as confident and I feel a little bit threatened, but why? What is it? So I actually went down a list of a few kind of, I would say, more of my confident friends. And I texted them and I said, do you ever feel threatened by certain women at all? And what does that mean for you, or what happens? What do you need?